Hi Patriots, I'm back for another quick video, and I wanted to talk on this specifically because the day before Red Pill 78 got on with this article, or one like it, talking about this, my dad talked to me about it because I had just been working on some quantum energy and quantum theory, quantum AI information in the last video, as you would have seen. And as my father was telling me about this article, I was talking out loud about it, and I said, well, having just looked at this, I understand that when we talk about possible parallel levels or multiverses and existences, that it's not saying that more than one truth or more than one reality exists in current time. And I don't know that if you were to read this whole article, that that's what they would end up saying, but you know how clickbait is. They want to talk about this and the interesting stuff of quantum science, and they know that a lot of people are going to zone out and probably not read the whole thing. This is very interesting, the altered states. It almost makes me wonder if they're preparing us for what's going to come out in the truth with Q and the media and the Mockingbird and MK Ultra and Monarch mind control, Mockingbird being the controlled media, MK Ultra being the older version of mind control, and as you've seen in my recent video, probably a newer version of attempted mind control, and then the the Monarch mind control, specifically that we'll see in the film and entertainment industry. But they definitely have issues with altered states and breaking up alters, but I don't know, without thinking about this and looking into it further, that really has anything to do at all with quantum energy. I think that has a lot to do with how they do mind control. And that could be a very interesting way of them trying to break us into some information in the site. I don't know. I haven't looked into it deeply, but I wanted to touch on this because what quantum energy actually says is that there can be multiple probabilities or possibilities, that they can exist in these other energy levels. And you might as well just say, well, imagine I have a bunch of choices, but I make one, and the one I make is the one I make. The reason that this doesn't qualify as correct over here about more than one reality existing is because in true quantum science, once it is observed, it collapses into that one thing, and there aren't two realities anymore. There's the one either chosen or the outcome that just happens to happen. So if it was two realities, you'd have to say, for instance, light comes in particles and waves. So I can observe that, though. It was crazy to people when they first observed it, but a person can observe both things and that they can both happen. And because a person can observe that, it's not two realities that you could argue. You could say, well, sure, there's two realities, that it really does, it really can be observed as a wave, or it really can be observed as a particle, but I would be able to look at it as a wave, and I would be able to look at it as a particle. I think this article has some danger to it, is that it's trying to say, well, one person might say it's a wave, and another person might say it's a particle, and you don't have to prove that both existences can happen. I think it's trying to act like, well, my truth is my truth and your truth is your truth, and hey, buddy, there's more than one reality. This is the dangers of science. They come out with these very broad spectrum ideas. They throw a clickbait title to it. It's too deep for most people to really comprehend, and then they don't comprehend it, so they just speak what the clickbait said, and they choose it to work for their life and their lifestyle. And that's what this deep state or the cabal or the Satan worshippers or whatever your name for the Illuminati, that's what they want. They want us to not really know, to just take the clickbait for what it is, or to make it work for us in a way that we can validate a bad decision, or saying I can have my truth because I read an article on quantum physics, which makes me sound really smart. Now I know stuff on quantum physics without even looking into it whatsoever. And why would they? Because somebody told them we're not all scientists. We're supposed to be able to trust the people that are out there putting the information out. And that is why I'm saying what I'm saying. This article is some super BS when it comes to more than one reality exists. Unless you can prove both realities, and I can see them both, and so can everyone else, this is false. And I haven't looked into the altered states much with what they're saying. I could. But once again, you would have to be able to prove all realities to all people involved. Now, you could maybe get away with not saying that, could say that the person with the altered states might not see all the altered states, but other observers would be able to see all the altered states. Other observers would be able to see the realities together, and there would be no way to argue. There would be those realities inarguably, and we all see it. And I'm sure that makes sense to you. I'm sure you all understand. I'll throw these links in the description box. I really wanted to throw that out there. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, like, and share. Good night.